Hello, here it is, the end of June 2022, still on planet Earth, still watching the planets transit around us through the zodiac, and this is the US of A's chart. Seemed like a good idea to see what's going on in the US of A. I mean, we know that Pluto is coming back and it's back to where it started from, and this is a massive shift, and it's taking 2.5, 3.5 years to go through this. Pluto's been close to its birth position, 27 degrees of Capricorn, several times in the last couple of years, but right now it is precise. It was precise for the first time February, March of this year, as the US was giving billions to the Ukraine and putting out sanctions on US, on Russia's money. This massive expression of power being expressed through the second house things, finances, Pluto, the planet of power, of death and rebirth. So the country itself is going through this death and rebirth. This new image is going to be evolving here, this new face. Who this country has been for the last 250 years is ending, and this rebirth is going to slowly soon start taking place, if it isn't already. Pluto conjunct Pluto, precise in February, March this year. Precise again, June, July of this year. Then December, at the end of this year, January next year, and then once more in the end of 2023, and then this is finally complete. And the whole new face of the USA will be having emerged there. Not that it'll all be peaceful. What's really notable regarding this recent change in the legal situation as far as abortions are concerned, Jupiter is the planet that symbolizes the legal system, laws. It also symbolizes religion. And it also symbolizes extremes and excesses. Now, it has a positive face, prosperity, growth, expansion. Choices are being made always with these energies, and Jupiter's energy entered into the residence, the land, the homeland of the US of A. This is the fourth house. One's land, one's home, one's residence, one's mother, the fourth house issues. Jupiter goes through this house once every 12 years, and the legal system becomes very focused on the laws that affect the homeland and the people, the citizens. When Jupiter, the planet of the laws, moves through the fourth house in this country. It entered here in May, just passed. And of course, the first thing it's doing is it's squaring Venus, and it's squaring Jupiter. Very problematic, a focus on negativity and a cutting off of rights. Jupiter squaring Venus, the planet of females, female issues, as it moved into the fourth house. Now it's going to stay in that fourth house right through until October of this year, and then it retrogrades back to the third. So between May and October of this year, we may see different laws changing regarding the rights and freedoms of the citizens of the US of A. The same-sex marriage laws may be challenged next. Who knows? It's pretty predictable. We're talking about extremes, religious-based extremes, much like the Taliban, in a different way, in a different face. Energy pretty similar, though. Religious-based energy being used to cut off people's rights and freedoms. But Jupiter's in the fourth house, and when the Democrats are in power, in the states where the different laws are being made, freedoms and opportunities seem to be brought in with the laws. But historically, whenever the Republicans have control of the Senate or whatever's going on with the governorship of the different states, Republican control and power tends to represent historically the lessening of freedoms, the lessening of rights. So Jupiter's still in that residence. What's coming next? After October, Jupiter retrogrades back to the 3rd house. It re-enters the 4th house in January of 2023. And it'll travel through the 4th house by May of next year. It will have traveled through the whole 4th house. So between January and May of next year, the potential for more laws to be changed. I guess that depends greatly on who votes for who later this fall. What does the new face of the USA look like? It's certainly interesting to contemplate, and this Jupiter's transit through the 4th house, always interesting to look at past cycles. Now, Jupiter has a 12-year cycle. It takes 12 years to orbit the Sun. So Jupiter's been in Aries in the 4th house of the USA many times since they began 245 years ago. But the energy of Jupiter's released into 4th house things as Jupiter transits through this house. If we look at 1987, it was traveling through this 4th house just as a very important civil rights law came into being. It was traveling through that 4th house again 12 years later. In 1999, several things were going on there. Laws were being passed focusing on the rights of children, adopted children, and immigrant children. But it's also when Bill Clinton was being impeached. So there was indeed a great focus on the laws and the legal system in their own country, the home country of this US of A, when Jupiter was in the 4th house in 1999. It traveled through there again in 2010, 2011. Now, Obamacare came into being there, the rights of the citizens for medical care. That's certainly one of the legal issues that was passed, one of the laws, when Jupiter transited the 4th house the last time. And the laws regarding same-sex marriage were being finalized to a large degree in some states. So legal issues that are focused on 4th house environment, the home, the country, the homeland, Americans, legal situations draw a great deal of attention every time Jupiter's in that 4th house, and that's what we're seeing now. So we may see, with this dark side of Pluto seemingly being an emerging force in the US of A, a large percentage of Americans voted for Donald Trump. We have to come back to that. That's very dark energy. Sexism so strong that it was a given that Hillary Clinton would never have much of a chance, simply because she's a woman. This is a very sexist, racist country historically, and the new face that's emerging doesn't seem to be moving forward, but somewhat backtracking, reverting to the past. So will the new face of the USA be this gun-preoccupied, toting, racist, sexist, crazy religion-based country? Or it will still be recognizable for its stance on freedom and independence and the human rights? We'll have to see. Well, I won't. I won't be here, but you will. difficult, though, to see these laws that were worked and fought for so hard, but highly predictable from the minute Donald Trump was voted in. Take care.